Disruptive tactics involves using unexpected or unconventional approaches to change the course of a negotiation. Let's look at a deal between a seller and a buyer. During the negotiation, the seller unexpectedly offers to include new tires with no extra cost. This disrupts the negotiation dynamics as it adds a valuable perk that wasn't initially discussed. The other buyer may find this unexpected offer enticing and may be more willing to agree to the seller's terms and finalize the deal. Anchoring means setting a starting point that influences the rest of the discussion. Let's say you're selling a used car. You know it's worth around $10,000, but you decide to ask for $12,000 when you first advertise it. That $12,000 becomes the anchor point for potential buyers. Even if they negotiate you down to $11,000, they might still feel like they got a good deal because their idea of the car's value was influenced by the higher starting price you set. They think they got $1,000 off, but in reality, you got an extra $1,000. Good cop and bad cop is when one negotiator acts friendly and cooperative, while the other seems tough and demanding. Imagine buying a car. The salesman acts nice, but the manager says they can't lower the price. Then, the salesman comes back and says they convinced the manager to give you a discount. The manager was the bad cop to make the salesman seem like the good cop. It's a strategy to make it seem like you're getting the best deal possible. Mirroring in negotiation means imitating the behavior, speech, or body language of the person you're negotiating with to build rapport and trust. For example, if the other person speaks slowly and calmly, you might adjust your own speech pace and tone to match theirs. Or if they lean forward or use hand gestures, you might subtly do the same. This mirroring technique helps create a sense of connection and understanding between negotiators, making it easier to reach agreements. Flattery in negotiation means giving compliments or praise to the other party to create a positive atmosphere and potentially influence their decisions. For example, a CEO might ask one of their employees to give a speech at a dinner on behalf of the company without offering payment. The request could be phrased like, "Although I don't have the budget to compensate you, I need a great speaker, and you are the best I know." This type of flattery, coupled with the opportunity to contribute to a worthy cause, makes the request difficult for the speaker to decline. Silence is when you stay quiet during a negotiation to make the other person feel comfortable or uncomfortable and allow them to speak first or offer more. For example, if you're negotiating a salary and your potential employer offers a certain amount, you can stay silent to see if they increase their offer without you saying anything. Law enforcement officers use this tactic a lot to get information out of the suspect. Limited authority means saying you don't have the power to make big decisions, to delay, or get better terms. For example, in a car dealership, the salesperson might say, "I need to check with my manager before I can agree to that price." This tactic buys time or justifies making concessions later. Nibbling means asking for more after an agreement is almost reached. For example, after negotiating the price of a car and going back and forth for days, the seller finally agrees to a lower price. Then the buyer asks for free floor mats or a full tank of gas as a last-minute request. The seller would most likely agree to this because they've been so worn down and just want to get a deal done. Walkaway power means being willing to leave the negotiation if the terms aren't favorable. Imagine you're buying a used car. If the seller isn't willing to lower the price to what you think is fair, you're ready to walk away and find another car elsewhere. This shows the seller you're serious and can give you more bargaining power. Framing means presenting a negotiation in a way that influences how the other person sees it. Let's say you're negotiating a salary increase with your boss. Instead of framing your request as, "I want a $5,000 raise," you could frame it like, "Based on the industry standards and my performance, a $5,000 raise would bring my salary in line with similar positions in the market." In this example, you're framing your request within the context of industry standards and your own performance, which can make your request seem more reasonable and justifiable to your boss. Deadline pressure means creating or emphasizing time limits to push the other party to agree quickly. Imagine you're negotiating a contract with a vendor. You might say, "We need to finalize this deal by Friday, or we'll have to explore other options." This puts pressure on the vendor to agree before the deadline to avoid losing the opportunity. Narrowing options means reducing the choices available to the other party to guide the negotiation towards a desired outcome. For example, imagine you're negotiating with a friend about where to go for dinner. Instead of offering a wide range of restaurant options, you suggest only two choices, Italian or Mexican cuisine. By narrowing the options, you steer the negotiation towards your preferred types of food while still giving your friend some say in the decision-making process.